I'd like to thank you for joining me again on this video. This is for the Stuka basic bombing. Just a few things I'd like to point out on this dashboard that you have here in front of you. Starting with the compass, then the airspeed indicator. Next is the altimeter, the temperature gauge, the climb rate and descent rate indicator read in meters per second, the left-right bank indicator, the fuel gauge, the manifold pressure gauge, the ammo counter for your machine guns, and the very important dive angle indicator. With this instrument here, you know that you're within certain parameters for being able to release your eggs properly, because if it's too steep, you won't be able to release, and if it's too shallow, you're going to be less accurate. When the needle at the top of this gauge up here is in between the two marks there, you know that you're climbing at a reasonable rate of climb rate, and so that your plane does not stall out. When the needle's between the second one and the bottom mark, you know you're within the proper angle for releasing your bombs from. If you go beyond that bottom mark, then there's negative G's involved, and the bombs or eggs, however you want to say it, will not be released. Also, the closer you are to this bottom mark without going beyond it, the steeper your dive will be and the more accurate. Generally speaking, you want to try dropping your bombs coming into the target from about 3 to 4K in altitude. That's 3 to 4,000 meters in altitude. Get lined up. You can use the window on the bottom of the Stuka if you like. Turn off your engine. Don't use the throttle, but just hit E. Turn on your dive brake, which is the letter S. And I'm going to drop the bomb just short of this building here, using the bottom edge of the circle and where it attaches to the connection to the support apparatus of the reticle. And if you take a look here, you'll see there should be a splash just short of the building. Now, where that spot is depends on how steep of an angle you're diving on the target as well. Where that spot is right along that between where the circle connects to the support on the reticle. And if you're dropping the bombs with your 50 kilogram bombs, and you use the outside edge of the circle and drop from there, because the bombs are set out on the edges of the wings. I have an example of that for you here, and we'll come back around after we drop these other couple bombs, dropping them right in that little open area between the building and the docks. And now here we can see where the positions of those bombs are located, both on the outside tips of the wings and of course the one in the center. I've just deployed the dive brakes, and then I'm turning back around towards the target. Because those are out on the ends of the wings so far, that's why you have to use the edges of your reticle when you go to drop your bombs. And then of course the center one, when you drop it, you use the center vertical bar as well. Now in game, I'm targeting this enemy forward base, which was just west of the city that we're trying to protect, and I'm getting myself lined up on that forward base. Here I'm zooming in, get a look at the layout of how it's set up and the enemy gun emplacement that is protecting the forward base and where they want me to drop my first bombs to take it out. Now I'm moving to the north of the area, because that gun emplacement AAA is set up right in the center of, or not center, but on the edge of those trees, and he'd be less likely to see me from coming in from the north. So I'm going to turn my plane around, get myself lined up with approximate location of the edge of the forest, which is this golf ball forest, keeping an eye on that dive angle while I'm lining up this forest right here. Now I know where the forward base is and the enemy gun emplacement, and I'm lining myself up with the edge of the trees right between the two. Take one last look, make sure I'm dropping a 50 kilogram bomb, and then I release my eggs right in here and switch back to my 250 to get ready for the enemy tank that invariably spawns in at that area. And as I pull up, I make good work with my tail gunner to both see where I hit and at the same time fire a few rounds in that general vicinity, since I can damage them with the machine guns as well. I come back this direction and drop another bomb right in this edge of the trees. And here I come back around to attack the vehicle spawn, since he's pushing out another AAA right there at the very corner, dropping another bomb right on the very edge of that. And that's the basic bombings with the Stuka video. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to post them, and have fun gaming.